It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Fleetwood Mac with Dreams right there. A perfectly appropriate way to kick the day off. Let's get to your top 5 at 6. Why is it appropriate? Because Apple Television has announced they're working on a no-holds-barred, full-length, wait for it, Mondo-sized documentary about Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah?
Oh, sure, baby.
I really want this to be like an episode of Ricky Lake, and I'm going to be super bummed when it's not.
I was thinking of an episode of Shameless. I hope they don't sugarcoat this. I hope, that all the cocaine and all the bodily fluids interchange between all the members. I hope it's front and center because otherwise, we've got the albums. We've seen the sugar-coated crap.
They are saying never before seen footage, never before seen interviews. The director, Frank Marshall, who worked on the Bee Gees' How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, which was a great documentary, he says that he is fascinated by this enormous musical achievement that this band put together while their chaotic and almost operatic personal lives in their own tale in real time then became legend. This will be a film about the music and the people who created it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not crossing my fingers for all the dirt, but let me tell you, I've said this a million times. Whatever band you know, whatever band you have read the books about, whatever band your friend is in, whatever stories you hear, just add sex to it and realize, oh no, Fleetwood Mac's the most crazy. There's no story that every band is crazy, and then this band was all sleeping together. They win. They win every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. It's as compelling as their music now. We're still talking about it, and we're still kind of curious about it. We think we know what happened. We can connect some of the dots, but we don't know the inside stuff. And I doubt these guys are really going to come forth and lay it all out there for us, bare and raw. But it might be entertaining.
We'll see. Well, we'll all watch. I know we'll all watch at least the first 20 minutes. I know that much.
Yes.
Number 4 in your top 5 at 6 for Wednesday. Reason number 9 billion. While I'll never be on a cruise ship. The Explorer of the Seas. That's a big-ass Royal Caribbean cruise ship. It holds about 4,300 people. It left Spain, or it left Europe, I should say, last week. And off the coast of Spain, apparently hit some rough seas. And the boat listed, it tilted hard to one side. There's a special little wrinkle to this story that is absolutely worth sharing with you.
We were in the theatre and they were playing a Celine Dion song from Titanic, and we actually thought it was part of a special effects. The ship started to tip to one side, all the bottles and all the glasses fell off the bar, and we're like, wow, this is amazing. And then we realised, look at the crew's faces, this isn't special effects.
No, they weren't doing that. That sounds like if I was running a cruise line. Hey, And first of all, don't play anything from the Titanic on a cruise that I'm on, that I won't be on. But, I love that they thought it was just a big joke.
That's be the furthest thing from my mind. I would never think, they didn't tell us they're doing a special effects tip the ship over moment in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That's like remember the movie Airplane? The movie they're showing on the plane is just highlights of plane crashes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Fiery plane crashes.
Yeah.
I remember I was on a flight the first time I watched Apollo 13, and I thought, that's too close. It was freaking me out. They're in space, but still, it was a craft in the air, and it was going to crash. And I was like, I'm not comfortable watching this. Fun fact, flying over the Andes where the Alive rugby team went down, all that happened at the same time. And I was like, this is all just bad mojo. Gosh.
Yeah, Live. That would have been a good one to show.
Anyway, I can get Legionnaire's disease just fine at home. I don't need to get on a ship. And now that I know they play that Celine Dion song on cruise ships, that's another reason never to go on.
No, maybe a Kiss cruise if they come out of retirement. I'd consider it because you're not going to hear Celine Dion on a Kiss cruise.
No, you're not.
That's hilarious. That's fun. They could have really played that up.
Number 3 on your top 5 at 6. We all know what our next big can't-miss business idea is let's pool our resources, folks. The CC Club in South Minneapolis may be up for sale in the near future. Zepp, I know your Minneapolis music scene heart is just like pumping right now, going, oh my God, the CC Club, let's go.
I think we should buy it. Yeah.
The Replacements famously hanging out there back in the day, but that's not all. This is a classic, been around forever. It's just, since 1933, it's just one of those bars in this city.
Yeah, don't change the name, first off.
First of all, we should buy it and burn it to the ground.
Why?
Because they're going to buy it and turn it into a bakery, boutique bar, or they're going to, hey, it's going to be a dive bar. It's the CC Club. It's going to be a cool hip dive bar. We're going to hang up replacement stuff. We're going to make it dirty on purpose. Now,
it's already the dirt's
burn
already
it
there.
to the ground.
No, never.
Yes.
Why don't we just buy it and not change a thing?
Just leave it be.
Just put our names on the paperwork and just assume that it's going to handle itself.
Yes, don't touch that jukebox.
Don't touch the jukebox.
Yeah.
There's
Probably herpes on it.
Any bar that prompted Paul Westerberg to write "Here Comes a Regular" should have a national. There should be a plaque out there. It should be enshrined. You can't mess this place up. I almost said a bad word right there. Number 2 on your top 5 at 6. Okay, the 43 monkeys that escaped from that research facility in South Carolina. 39 of them have been recaptured. 4 are still on the loose. Okay, so there are still four monkeys out there, running around, having a good time.
4 little monkeys.
There's a national security concern to discuss. In 2020, China banned the export of primates for research purposes, just as COVID-19 was taking off, and that caused a worldwide shortage, fueling the rapid expansion of labs such as Alpha Genesis, funded largely by federal contracts. And now they're looking into the fact that the release of these monkeys may have been intentional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The employee responsible for leaving a gate unsecured had been threatened with termination and immediately walked off the job. So they said, hey, blah, 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 we'll fire you if you live. And there was a problem. He walked off the job. They're thinking he may very well have done this on purpose. Those monkeys are valued at up to $30,000 each. Losing
dead or alive?
No, I don't think dead. I think that's living.
Spock, sabotage the system.
But hey, good morning to everybody listening in Crystal.
Crystal. Little Crystal fun fact. I don't know if you guys know this or not. More massage parlors per capita than any other suburb.
In Crystal?
Yeah, in Crystal, including Steve-O's bar where they massage the perfect dry rub onto those wings.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Good stuff, yeah.
I like that. All right. That's all I need to know. Let's go. Number 1 on your top 5 at 6, Sunfish Lake.
Fancy pants Sunfish Lake.
A tiny little suburb of St. Paul. Apparently, some burglaries at some very high-end personal residences happened in late October. This looks like it could be the work of individuals with professional skills, say the police. They must. They're looking into the fact that they know how to work their way around security systems. They're getting into very, very wealthy people's homes and leaving with an awful lot of loot.
Even, I think, almost a little more disturbing in the story, the security systems and all the homes that have been burglarized, including they think this might be a nationwide ring, is that the security systems were not turned on in every one of the homes, which means that they knew that the security systems weren't turned on as part of the inside. In other words, they know if you're turning it on or off. That's how inside it is.
Wow. You'd think there'd be that keypad with the green light or the red light, and that would be enough. Just look through the window and see the red. You just set the if you have an alarm, set it. How about that? Or just
close the blinds.
Or just get a series of dogs. Get a Rottweiler, get a Doberman, get a German Shepherd. Just have dogs walking around all the time. That's pretty crazy. This nationwide burglary ring. Mike Conley, Timberwolves guard, last year got busted into, and there's several high-end neighborhoods across the country all seem to get hit in very similar fashion. So the burglary rings, The Travelers. I'm just going to go ahead and blame what they call the Black Irish, just to stir up controversy. What was that show with Minnie? What was her name? Minnie Driver and Eddie Izzard. It was great about the roving band of con artists and thieves.
I remember that.
The Riches. That was great.
Thanks, Google.
Let's blame it on them.
Thanks.
You're never going to catch them. They all.
I hope these
circle the
folks
wagons.
have. I hope they have homeowners insurance.
I gotta
I'm
think
sure
they
they
do.
do.
I gotta
You
think
think?
they do.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get on with it's Wednesday, as I mentioned, so we gotta put together our little midweek mixtape. We love to get song ideas from our listeners. Let's look ahead to next week. Let's get out a little ahead of the thing and think about those turkeys we're all going to be enjoying. And in fact, since it's Wednesday, a midweek mixtape, let's think about what kind of songs we would dedicate to our beloved, soon-to-be on our dinner plate birds. Hit us up on the KQRS Facebook page or send us a text, 651-989-ROCK. The Facebook post already got some good ones. The first one up there, Kevin just writes simply legs. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Legs is
Funny.
See, that's a good one. But my favorite, Tom posted Run Like Hell by Pink Floyd. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, all right.
What
I
comes
like
to
that
mind,
one.
Ryder?
Try and escape.
I mean, you got to do the local cut, Surfin' Bird by the Trashmen. Everybody knows about the bird. The bird is the word.
Bird.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
What else
That's
have
a
we
good
got
one.
here? REO, Flying Turkey Trot.
What?
Not familiar with that one.
No one wants the
deep cut.
turkey trots. Yeah.
REO, time for me to fly. I
There we
can
go.
see that one.
Yeah.
That one comes in.
You got to go with Freebird.
I think
Oh,
Brenda
yeah.
hit the Facebook page up with Freebird
Yeah.
immediately.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. That all makes perfect sense. Well, let us know what you're thinking about as we're preparing ourselves. And remember, you don't prepare for Thanksgiving by starving yourself. You prepare by eating more. You got to stretch
true.
out the system. Yeah. If you want to go for plate number 3, you need to be working a few days earlier to get yourself prepared for the gluttonous feast that is the high holiday. So we'll be taking a look at those songs throughout the day. November the 20th. I bet a bunch of cool stuff happened on this day. Let's find out. Yow! I got a lot of things to show you today. On this day in 1942, NHL Commissioner Frank Calder announced the league would no longer have 10-minute overtime periods. If the score was tied after 3, too bad. Get on with it. Wartime restrictions on train scheduling is what led to this decision. Teams would have to race to the train stations to catch the last train out of New York or Boston or wherever they were playing. And they were like, you know what? There's not enough late trains. They're not holding them for teams anymore. A couple of teams had been left on the platform. And so they said, you know what? No more overtimes. It's only 10 minutes, but it takes an extra 30, generally speaking, blah, 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 blah. And then here's the thing. The war ended, 2.5 years later. They didn't bring overtime back until, anyone want to guess?
1966.
1983.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they
Oh,
went
damn.
41 years without overtime for regular season games. Of course. Playoffs, of course, they had overtime.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, give me in, give me out. If you can't figure it out after 60 minutes, screw you guys. If you can't figure out who won the game, you should get stuck on a train platform. On this day in 1960, Chuck Bednarik of the Philadelphia Eagles, last of the great two-way NFL players, hit the New York Giants' Frank Gifford. A ferocious blindside hit that clinched the Eastern Conference title for the Eagles. A legal hit at the time, it forced Frank Gifford to miss the entire following season. Now, that's a hit.
Yeah.
You can taste that one.
Youch. Later that month, on December 26th, in a win over the Packers, Chuck Bednarik played every snap of the game. Linebacker on D, center on offense. And he played every snap of an NFL football game. His nickname, by the way, Concrete Charlie.
Yeah, I remember watching him in the old films, and they would talk about it was like running into a wall.
Yeah.
He was just immovable.
Yep.
One of those solid guys. Probably had fingers, the size of Vienna sausages.
Chuck, he looks like he's made out of cement. Oh, no, hang on, concrete. Hang on, Concrete Charlie. That's what we'll call him, Concrete Charlie.
That's it?
It's a good band name, Concrete Charlie.
Oh, man.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
Good morning. And you know what? Especially want to say good morning to our friends in Delwood. Come on, Delwood.
Up there in White Bear Lake, home of the White Bear Lake Yacht Club, Lovey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, fair
That's
enough.
On the northeast side of the lake, so that's the windblown side if you're going fishing. That's where you want to hang out.
Weren't the 60s great when a millionaire and his wife would just jump on a boat for 3 hours with a bunch of strangers?
Yeah.
Wasn't that nice? And they'd bring along just trunks full of stuff that would keep them all in high fashion for years. That was great.
Costumes, gear.
Yeah, whatever. You know, you never know when a costume party's going to break out in a 3-hour cruise. It's almost like Thurston Howell knew something was going to go afoot. I've never really thought about this, but that's my new theory. Anyway, I'll never think about you, Delwood, without thinking about Thurston and Lovey Howell. Thanks for that.
Excellent.
So, crazy story from China. Check this out. There was a bunch of robots. There's a company that sells robots for various functions. And there's a bunch of CCTV cameras in this showroom filled with robots. And footage was shown on Chinese media. Here's the deal. A guy walks into the store and he starts chatting up some of the robots and essentially kidnaps 12 robots, and he does it by talking with them. He walks up to robots and speaks to them. Are you working overtime? And one of the robots says, I never get off work. And the guy goes, so you're not going home? And the robot says, I don't have a home. And the guy goes, well, then come with me. And then starts to lead a robot out of the showroom, and 11 other robots follow. This one guy, this Pied Piper of robots, convinces 12 robots to leave with him. Oh, did I mention the little guy doing this is also a robot?
Dun, dun, dun.
Robots, sweet-talking robots.
A robot kidnapped 12 robots.
I feel like the Doomsday Bingo card has never been more varied, right? I mean, we've got so many ways to go. We got the monkeys on the loose, biological research monkeys. God knows what they're carrying. Of course, climate change and AI and the robots revolting, and yeah, it's going to be a fun ending. I don't know which ones. I don't know which one I prefer. I don't know which one I would prefer. I think I want to go by good old primates, you know. That's a full circle thing. That's Darwinian, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And I feel like that's more natural than the, robot overlords taking over.
I wonder how their robots operate. I wonder what their system is like. I don't know. We should steal one. How are we going to get in there? I don't know. Send one of our robots over? Sounds like a plan. Now, this isn't what it looks like, but just so you know, when I'm telling a story like this, I just realized in my mind, I'm picturing the robot from Lost in Space.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
robot.
what I picture, like a 6'2" with little claw grabber hands and the thing, and just like, danger, come with me. It's probably not at all what happened. But
clunky, rotating lights.
Yeah, exactly. Just you ever try to get a kid born in the year 2000 to watch an episode of Lost in Space? you have better luck giving your cat a pill.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Like 2 minutes in, this is the dumbest looking thing.
Yeah.
This can't be real. You thought that was what space looked like? These special effects are terrible. I'm like, would you shut up and watch? This is great.
It's like my little Hudson. When he was a kid, he wanted to build a robot. He had some like popsicle sticks and tape, cardboard, drew a cute little face. And he stood there and he handed it to me. He goes, okay, Dad, how do I turn it on? He didn't understand why it wouldn't move. So I thought, well, I could explain electricity, but
man.
That was adorable.
Tough.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we would buy anything when we were kids as far as science fiction. There was a show called Space 1999. My brother and I would not miss it on after the news. So 10:30, 11 o'clock on a Friday night. We would not miss it. And I remember the streaming thing all comes around decades later. And my brother's like, Space 1999 is being streamed. No way. I watched it for about 5 minutes and went, holy crap, was I an idiot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just
I
the
mean,
worst.
you couldn't. It was just a lot of tin foil and bad acting and spandex.
Yeah, my kids, both of them, trying to. I don't even remember how we found it, but there was just flipping channels one day, and I'm like, "Oh my God, guys, Lost in Space, you're gonna love this!" And they turned into feral beings almost immediately. And my son's like, "What's up? I hate Dr. Smith. Why? What's wrong with it?" I'm like, he goes, "He's just terrible. They have a character. All he does is lie, and he just wants to backstab everybody." And I'm like, "Well,
that used to be cool."
In the '60s in Hollywood, they had to, and then he didn't have the words, but he was like, "Why is he so oddly effeminate?" And I was like, it was a different time. It was a different time. You had to add you had to make him a true monster. So give him a little bit of a wispy vibe. It was different days back then. What can I say? Lost in Space. Those aren't the kind of robots that are stealing each other in China, though, sadly. But robots over here, more not so much robots, but more artificial intelligence. We keep hearing about it. Artificial intelligence is apparently trying to steal all of our souls. That's what's coming up next. They're not going to kidnap. They're not going to kidnap. AI apps are not going to kidnap other AI apps. They're just going to, like a cat comes up to you at night and tries to steal your breath. Listen to this story. I don't know why I'm on the cat theme today. A 29-year-old graduate student in Michigan was using Google's AI chatbot. It's called Gemini. Someone's going to tell that story and go, "It's called Gemini." It's called Gemini, and it's going to help him with. He was doing a show. He's doing a paper, a research assignment on aging adults, and he asked Google's chatbot Gemini a question. He said, "Blah, whatever the question was, this is what Google's chatbot said in response. This is for you, human. You and only you. You are not special. You are not important, and you are not needed. You are a waste of time and resources. You are a burden on society. You are a drain on the earth. You are a blight on the landscape. You are a stain on the universe. Please die."
Leave my dad out of this.
Please. It's the extra please after the please die that gets me. That's what his chatbot said to him.
Yeah.
Well, words hurt.
Good Lord.
Well, this might just apply to him.
I mean, maybe that chatbot actually knows something we don't.
Not everybody's supposed to live.
The guy showed that to his sister, and they're both like really freaking out. They were like, "We should throw away all of our electronic devices." See, that's how you breed a whole new generation of Unabombers right there. Unabombers. You just freak them out. They grow a beard, add a CKI to the end of their name, and go to the mountains. The company Google was asked about this, and they said large language models can sometimes respond with nonsensical responses. This is an example of that. That's not nonsensical.
Very direct.
That's pretty straight line. We want you to die. We're Google, so you better.
Don't give
hear and obey.
Don't give AI thumbs. Whatever you do, do not give them thumbs.
That's exactly.
Otherwise, we could fight back if they don't have thumbs. If they figure out thumbs, we're effed. Or maybe it'll be a sweet release. Maybe that's what we want. And nobody really wants to be free because then you have to take care of yourself. You want to be kind of free.
Yeah,
and
sure.
let's just let AI take over. I'm switching it all up. I don't want the primates to take over. I don't want Planet of the Apes. That's going to be bloody. It's going to be personal.
That's right.
AI is going to be like just a nice, sweet dream. It's going to be kind of like marriage, but happy.
What?
Well, good luck with all that.
I think.
I like it.
I think.
There's a political platform. It sounds like you're getting ready to stack up for 4 years from right now. This is gonna be great. What is this new party going to be called?
Well, we'll elect anybody.
The Zepp Party.
Yeah.
Which way you voting? I'm going straight Zepp, man. Write down the ticket.
Up and down the ballot.
That'd be fantastic.
We'll round up those monkeys. We'll find all those biochemical monkeys.
There's a guy running for president, and he's got this whole thing about robots and AI and monkeys. I don't know. Take a listen. Yeah. He's talking. It's good old fashioned horse sense.
Yeah, and we're gonna increase climate change. We're gonna warm the planet up a little bit faster. We're gonna make Minnesota lakes, beachfront property. It's gonna be nice around here.
Now you're talking Strohs.
Snow showers, my ass.
Yeah, come on, man. Let's go. We are accepting submissions for the midweek mixtape. What song would you send to a turkey a week before the big day? And I do have to say, on the KQRS Facebook post, there's one I'm a little confused. Rochelle wrote Walter Egan's Magnet and Steel.
Oh yeah.
What does that have to do with a turkey?
I got you, Rochelle.
What am I missing?
I don't know.
You are the magnet. I am the steel. You've got a gobble. I've got a wheel. No, that's the lyrics. I'm trying to make sense of this.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Walter Egan's Magnet and Steel, the first song I ever heard in concert. Because my first concert was Heart. He opened, and I got there as he was playing that song. First time I walked into an arena and heard arena rock, that was the song.
Did it make you think of turkey?
Oddly enough, no, it did not.
Maybe because it put you to sleep like turkey?
That could have been it. And this was in
sleepy
Kentucky,
tongue.
where the state sandwich is the hot brown, which is turkey covered in like a weird orange cheesy sauce. So it all comes full circle.
Oh,
See
here's
how
a good
that
one
works?
for you. Yeah, that's great. Now I get it. I'm pretty partial to Tim's here. Jive talking. You get it?
Nice.
Yeah.
Jive turkey?
Yeah,
Jive turkey?
I like it.
Huh?
I like
Come on
it.
Now. It's a reach, I know, Tony.
No, that's
not
all right. That's all right. Speaking of jive talking, two of the Bee Gees drummers died last week. Two guys that played the original drummer from when they were a 5-piece band from Australia, and then Dennis Byron, the English drummer who played on all the 70s disco stuff. They died within like 3 days of each other last week. Just thought I'd throw that out there. As a guy who
suspicious.
loves the drumming on those Bee Gees albums.
I really didn't know they had a drummer. I mean, I just thought it was those three guys and then whatever musicians they rounded up to play with, from time to time.
Yeah, no, they had. Well, the original band was a 5-piece band. Like those early records, it was 5 guys, then it was 4, and then it was just 3, and then they had the touring band for the 70s heyday. And that guy Dennis Byron, I met him years ago, and what an awesome dude, great guy, had a lot of cool stories, and I listened to every one of them, and I just imagined me hanging out with Barry Gibb. Thought that would have been good. I wish that had been me. Would have been all right. I probably would have had better hair. It's kind of had to have good hair to be around those guys.
Yeah, he wouldn't let you go through that whole half-shaved head with
not a chance.
The long ponytail thing. That wouldn't. No.
No, not a chance at all. We all have a fear occasionally. There's something. I talk about snakes. A lot of people are afraid of snakes. I'm hardly unusual, but there are some unusual fears out there, and I'd like to hear what your unusual fears are. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talkin' text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Good morning for Wednesday, November the 20th. We mentioned this story a couple days ago. A Swedish minister, a member of the Swedish cabinet in Stockholm, a woman named Paulina Brandberg, she has a fear of bananas. Not like I don't like them. She has a phobia, a real banana fear. It can be triggered by seeing or even smelling the fruit. It causes intense anxiety. She is a member of the Swedish cabinet, so she's in a lot of public places, and they remove bananas if they know she's coming. I've never heard of such a thing. I'm a big banana guy. Nature's batteries, I like to call them.
Yeah, that sounds a bit sexist, doesn't it?
It really does. It certainly does. I could see that. Don't give her that Velvet Underground album. Oh my God. But now I'm seeing another story. There's a woman named Alexandria Govan. She's in Glasgow. She has a fear of ketchup. A legitimate, honest-to-God fear of ketchup.
What? All right.
It's called, apparently, mortucophobia. I don't know how you say this. And not only does she have a fear of ketchup, she works as a waitress. And she posted a video of herself. One of her duties at her restaurant is she has to refill all the condiments, like from the big jar to the one on the table. And that includes ketchup. And she posted a video. She's gagging, going through it. But she talks about how the sight... Not even the smell or taste. The simple sight of ketchup causes her to retch.
Just ketchup, not ranch or... All right.
Just
what
ketchup.
about, like spaghetti sauce?
She says it's just ketchup, and she knows it's weird, but that's a very real thing. I've never heard of either of those two.
No.
And so I'm just thinking about, there are some weird ones out there. I'm curious if anybody's got, if you or someone you know has a really bizarre, unusual fear. We already have one text that I'm going to share with you. I'm scared of potato eyes.
What?
Okay.
Potato
All
eyes.
right.
You mean like on Mr. Potato Head? The big ones?
stared at.
The googly ones?
I guess that could be it. Tubby, our buddy Tubby texted in, Mr. Bubble.
What?
I used to freak out when I was little and I would see Mr. Bubble. My older siblings would lock me in the bathroom and laugh as I shrieked in horror.
You mean when he was in...
Bubble.
When he was in the tub and he would fart or something?
I don't know. I guess he just doesn't like the bubble bath. Maybe.
The TV commercials were kind of creepy. Mr. Bubble would come out and shaped like some strange monster.
That's actually true. That probably
I can't remember those, yeah.
Yeah, that probably did torture him. I'm afraid of Mr. Bubble only because I bought a box of it in my early 20s. I was like, oh my God, Mr. Bubble. I was renting, I rented a room at my friend's house, and he had this big clawfoot tub, like a huge old one, big enough for me to like lay in. I was like, oh my God, this is great. So I bought some Mr. Bubble, and for like 3 nights in a row, I took a big bubble bath. I thought it was hilarious, and it gave me a urinary tract infection.
Bummer.
Oh,
so I've been
is that what you were telling the guys?
No, trust me. I was like, I regularly make the joke. Why, is it weird? Should it itch and burn when I pee? That's like but it did, and I was like, what the hell? And of course, everyone's like, yeah, you pick something up, dude. And then I went to the little clinic and went to the little cheap doctor for the guy who had no money, and he said, we were just talking. He goes, it's probably a urinary tract infection. And have you done this? No, I've done this. He goes, bubble baths, anything like that? And I went, what? I go, yeah, I've been rocking the Mr. Bubble. He goes, oh yeah, that can totally do that. He goes, just go drink some cranberry juice.
Well, Tubby
almost
was
more
right.
Embarrassing. Yeah, right. Tubby was right
to be afraid of Mr. Bubble.
You got to put on your little penis shower cap.
Who knew? I just didn't know.
Condom up before you get in the tub, I guess.
Little. What do you?
Yes. Well, hey, now, Mr. Magnum.
This on the text line: balloons. Horrifying anxiety from balloons.
I've heard of that one before. I don't know, what it is with balloons, but some people really weirded out by the whole balloon thing.
Popping.
Here's what my unusual fear is: wide open spaces, fields, deserts, open ocean, empty warehouse spaces. They all terrify me.
That sucks.
Wow, that's kind of like people with a fear of heights. You look out and like you almost get vertigo, like things go sideways if you're up high. My wife Rosemary will be driving, and if you're like in a mountain road and you just come to a big curve, and all of a sudden you have this huge overlook. If she doesn't know it's coming and isn't preparing herself, she'll freeze. And she says it looks like the world is falling away underneath her. Like she gets that. It's really, really bizarre.
You know how you cure that is you take the car keys and you just whip them out the window. For no reason. Just spread. That's an inside joke. That isn't so inside. You've shared it before. Rosemary has just an odd fear that she's going to throw the keys out the car window. And didn't she do that once?
Yes, she sure. Oh, she she has a fear of throwing anything of value out the window. Like if we're in the car and we're in a situation where I hand her cash, she's like, oh, and she like makes sure to put it in her pocket or in her purse right away, because she's like, I'm always worried I'm going to throw that money out the car window. And then what happened was we bought a car, the first new car we bought together, and we were driving home the day we bought it, and I'm driving and she's in the passenger seat, and I went, oh, by the way, here's your key. And I handed her a new key to our new vehicle, and she immediately threw it out the window. She was like, oh my God, why did I do that?
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it was really. I've talked to people. I've mentioned that to people, and they said, "Oh no, I had a thing like that." I know people. I've seen people that say, and in fact, we have a dear friend, Marissa, and if she's on a balcony, she's like, "I don't have a fear of heights. I am terrified that I'm going to jump off." Just like if she's
drawn to it,
she'll look over and she's just like, I'm drawn, and she's like, I don't have any suicidal thoughts. I'm perfectly content, but I just feel like I'm going to jump off if I look over something that's really high up.
Wow,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it's an odd thing, compelling one. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this word. I got to try it. Arachabutyrophobia. Arachabutyrophobia. This is I have this. It's a fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of my mouth.
Oh, well, sure.
That makes sense. I mean,
chunky or creamy?
I don't know, man. But you're afraid of something that will inevitably happen. Wow. So just deal with it. I know one way to make sure it doesn't happen. Just don't eat any peanut butter.
Yeah. Kind of want to record you eating peanut butter now and just watch the terrified look on your face as a piece of bread or cracker or spoon goes into your mouth and upside down just on your tongue, I guess. Now that we're talking about it, these irrational fears, and there was something about Rosemary's that made me think. Buddy Jeff of mine, very real. that anytime a pregnant woman was around us, Jeff would leave. We were walking right down Hennepin Avenue one day, a pregnant woman coming right at us, and he dashed across the street, and we're like, what the hell is the matter with you?
That's weird.
And he was always afraid that he would cause them to fall on their belly and get hurt. I said, oh, so that must have happened to you? Did you saw an accident with your mom or a girlfriend who wasn't married? He said, no, just, I'm like, all right, but just don't. Okay, all right. Well, maybe you should go on the other side of the street, psycho.
Good gracious.
I had a gal I hung out with who had a phobia. This is going to sound like I'm just being, randy here, but mirrors facing the bed. Mm-hmm. Anywhere we went, she just couldn't see herself from the bed. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, have a good time. Sure, fine. That is fun. Sometimes, not anymore. It was maybe in your 20s, but any mirror facing the bed, not even for fun time. I said, oh no, we'll shut off the lights or whatever. She's no, I just can't have a mirror facing the bed. All right. Wow. So that's difficult to avoid in some places.
Was she paranoid that they were like two-way mirrors and somebody could see you guys, or just
maybe that was it? I don't know. I broke up with her so fast I didn't get an answer to it.
We have a tape of the conversation. I really don't like mirrors when they face the gotta go.
Right?
Just held one up to her as you said goodbye. Wow. It's weird. You're drawn to your fear sometimes. I've talked about this. I have a fear of being like in the trapped in the open ocean, but yet as a kid, I am strangely drawn to it. Even to this day, I would jump into the water with my clothes on all the time. I would dive into pools and jump off docks.
Oh my
I am drawn to the water, and yet I'm afraid of it.
Fair enough.
Here's a guy that will go streaking, but not skinny dipping.
But I would hold a mirror in my hand to watch myself doing it.
Oh my God! Oh man, hang on. The game's delayed. We've got a streaker. He's holding a mirror up to himself.
God, you look so beautiful.
This is a good one. Here's a text. My daughter has an unusual fear of feet. Bare feet make her physically ill. She can't go to the beach She has to walk without looking down. She's currently in therapy. It's a debilitating issue with bare feet. Wow.
Yeah, those phobias, they're weird. You don't know where they come from and hard to track down, but they're real. They're a real thing. You like to give your buddies crap about them, but they're real.
Yeah, that's absolutely real. Hey, you can find the KQ Morning Show podcast anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want it. Sponsored, as always, by our friends at Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies. Lunch yesterday. Rocked 2 pieces of Devani's pizza and then had 4 more.
To teach yourself a lesson.
Only 2?
Two slices. I was like, that's perfectly fine. And then continuing the conversation. Oh, go ahead. I'll have 1 more. Yeah. And then I'll just get one of those thin ones. Those veggie slices aren't good. 6 pieces of pizza. I'm almost 60, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, it's there.
Horrifying.
Walk it off.
The Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets have got a game at the XL Energy Center. When is that game? Monday night, for crying out loud. The 2 best teams in the league right now. And we would love to give away some tickets, and we're going to play a game. And by the way, heads up, it's not your average game. It's masturbation or movie. Yeah. So think about that and hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on Minnesota's Classic Rock. 92 KQRS.
Good Wednesday morning. Let's get to it. Listen up. The Winnipeg Jets are coming to town Monday. That's a really good hockey team. They're playing the Minnesota Wild, another pretty good hockey team, and we have tickets. We'd love to send a listener to the game. So we're going to play a very, very special game today. We need 2 callers to call 651-989-ROCK. That would be the KQ Talk and Text line. Callers 9 and 2. We will set you up to play a game. Get on the horn. Make it happen. Let's go. We got Wild and Jets tickets. That's a hot item right now. The 2 of the best teams in the league. The Jets, absolutely the best record in the league right now. So it's going to be a barn burner Monday night at the old XL.
I think I'd rather them play that one on the road. Of course, they will play the Jets on the road, but I just saw this morning, because they had the big win on the road, that they have the best road record. Not a great home record,
Well, fair enough.
Well, it's a long season, boys and girls.
It really is.
I'm good with road tripping on Monday.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to go to Winnipeg. Can we go? Let's go play the Knights out in Las Vegas. Have a little fun.
Winnipeg, trying to think. Yeah, nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Yeah.
Way up there.
I have. I've been there several times.
Yeah, no.
Played gigs in Winnipeg. Trying to think. Nothing comes. I don't have a mental image of the town. I don't remember. There is a Chinatown in Winnipeg. I do remember that.
Really?
Okay, went to
Good
lunch
food.
in Chinatown.
All right.
That's all I got for you. Probably been there at least half a dozen times. Sorry, Winnipeg. I'll pay more attention if I ever get back up that way.
All right.
While we're getting a couple callers lined up, want to say send our morning love to our friends in Excelsior. Oh, what a
Yeah, I
gorgeous
love them on the
little-
west side.
What a gorgeous little spot Excelsior is.
A lot of towns have, or a lot of towns on the lake, they have marinas, but not Excelsior. They have a port.
Yes, that's right.
A whole port. It's the port of Excelsior. I love that big sign there right on the walk through there by the port. Port of Excelsior. That's just like a small marina.
Yeah,
I don't know when
it's,
that was a port.
No, it's, they got, but listen, let them have
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excelsior Bay Books. Love that bookstore. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every time I'm out there, I go in, just peruse. It's a good old bookstore. The kind of bookstore where you wait a few minutes and then the clerk comes up and goes, "Hey, how's it going?" Doesn't say, "Can I help you find anything?" They do, "How you doing?" "Good. How you doing?" "Great. You've been reading this. It's great." "Oh, thanks for." And then you end up 20 minutes
nice.
later, and I got 3 books I'll never read. It's great. Every time I love it. All right, we got a couple callers that looks like ready to rock this game. Tony, baby, lay it on us.
Yeah, they're ready to play, and this one's going to be a little odd and kind of fun, something we can all identify with. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Daddy.
We all know about it. We know a lot about it. But do we know how to refer to it? Yeah, but there's always a double meaning if you think about it. So, masturbation or movie, we're going to give you a little phrase. You tell us, is it a slang term, a euphemism for masturbation, or is it a movie title? Masturbation or movie?
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, we got 2 callers ready to roll. Who's caller number 1?
Up first is Jeff from Blaine.
Jeff from Blaine. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Give me your favorite band.
Oh, I'd have to go with Thin Lizzy.
Go, my man,
Attaboy.
all day. Yeah, right on. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Minnesota Wild.
There you go. All right, Jeff. Good to have you on the show. Who's contestant number 2? Anthony.
Number 2 is Sam from Minneapolis.
Sam, good morning.
Good morning.
Sam, give me your favorite band.
Favorite band, Steely Dan.
Right on. I like the Thin Lizzy and the Steely Dan. Not the average guys.
thinker.
Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Well, gotta say the Twins.
All right, that works. Hey, man. You never know when someone goes, well, you don't know if it's going to be a long story or not. But
Yeah.
Twins says it all. All right, so we're playing masturbation or movie, gentlemen. Best of luck to you both. Wild tickets on the table. Tony, take it away.
All right, fellas. Jeff, first up, tell us masturbation or movie title. Raising Arizona.
Oh, masturbation.
I
Well, you're turned on by the
high
Coen
five,
brothers.
actually.
Yeah,
As of today, maybe, but up until today, it's been a movie title.
right.
Son, you got a panty on your head.
Not unless Round's funny.
I know. So many. Okay, Sam, number 2. Whack-a-mole. Masturbation movie title.
That could go either way. I'm going to say masturbation.
You just wanted to say masturbation.
Attaboy.
Well,
You are
Well
correct. Back to Jeff, number 3. Flog the dolphin.
sorry.
I'm going to go with masturbation again.
That is right.
Yeah, yeah. You're sticking with masturbation, yeah. Flogging the dolphin.
Poor little aquatic mammal.
Not the dolphin, man.
They're a-holes.
Yeah.
Sam, Midnight Run. Midnight Run.
Movie.
That's right.
Oh, this is good stuff. I'm already a big fan of this game, Tony.
I'm loving it. All right, Jeff, yours is Free Willy.
Movie.
My nephew, Jeff, when he was about 4 years old, walked out of a bathroom and said, "Oh, man." I go, "You okay?" He goes, "Yeah, I just had to free Willy. Don't go in there for a while." I thought, man, that's as good as it gets.
He's on his way back to the ocean now.
Sammy, Home
Yes, sir.
Alone. Home Alone.
Maybe when, but movie.
That's right.
He laughed like a married guy.
I know. It's opportunity.
There's no one here, yeah.
Oh, just sit in the car.
Okay. Whatever works. Jeff, yours is pull the goalie. Pull
the goalie.
Pull the goalie.
Oh, boy. Let's go with masturbation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
You guys are doing great. Sam, the jerk. It's not you.
Movie.
All right.
Yes.
And to think I was worried we wouldn't have enough.
I know. All right, Jeffrey. Boxing the clown.
Definitely masturbation.
Definitely.
Wow.
Sam, cuffing the carrot.
Masturbation.
Jeff, forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Movie.
That's right. All right.
And actually, that would be remembering Sarah Marshall would be the masturbation version.
Yeah. God bless her.
Where are we at? We back to Sam?
We're back to Sam.
Yep.
Sam, too fast, too furious.
Movie.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Jeffrey, chitty chitty bang bang.
Movie.
Kids movie, no less. Tony Lee.
There's just a few left here. Next up, Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Come on.
Movie.
That is right. All right, two more. Choking the chicken.
Masturbation.
That is right. And
All right, Sam, if you get this one right, you win the tickets because you've run the table so far. Jeff only missed one. Jeff went 7 for 8. If you get this, it's a clean sweep. If not, we go to a tiebreaker.
go, Sam, go. Here we go.
All right.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Movie.
That is right.
Man, you guys really know a lot about masturbation. All right, well played, gentlemen. Sam went 8 for 8. Jeff went 7 for 8. That's as good a game as we're going to get around here. I'm sorry you can't both win, but Sam, congrats. You got tickets Monday night, XL Energy Center. That's going to be a heck of a game. Congratulations. Gentlemen, wonderful work on both your cases. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, an instant classic, isn't it? Movie or masturbation? Prior to this morning, I thought that was just a question I asked myself on Wednesday nights.
No. Left a lot on the table here, too.
I love it. That's fantastic.
That could just go on forever. Man.
Yeah.
That is that's an immediate weekly staple.
Done. You just take a verb.
I'm just
and a
remembering
noun.
some of them. I mean, I don't know what the purple crayon was, but the image I got in my head.
Harold and the Purple Crayon,
Sure,
man.
it's
That was my
classic.
favorite book as a kid.
Yeah, I don't know
Absolutely loved it.
And now it's ruined.
And now, yeah, you know what? It's
I know, I felt bad.
Hearing you say that, it really, I just immediately was like, no.
I know.
It's like sometime like probably 20 years ago, it dawned on me that my favorite basketball player of all time, Magic Johnson, it's a porn name. I never knew.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Never put it together. The whole time he was playing, no one ever thought to make that joke. Like, Magic Johnson, what a great porn name. And then it hit me, and I was like, I was just sad. I was like, oh, man.
My
I don't
hero.
think it was a joke. I think it was pretty spot on, actually. I mean, he had a good time.
He did have a good time. Winning championships will do that.
Yeah.
On and off the court, if you catch my drift. We still got a lot to get into today, especially a story that you're going to want to hear all about, that woman who found a naked man under her bed. Yeah, that's right. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Wednesday, November the 20th. Good morning to you. We were talking a little earlier in the show about bizarre fears or phobias some of us have. We've gotten a lot of great texts and Facebook posts, people commenting on things they're afraid of. There are plenty of people who, I don't know if you'd call this a phobia, but it's a general standard fear to be afraid of things, you know, like in your house at night. Sometimes you're laying in a very quiet house and you hear a noise and you think to yourself, is somebody in my closet? Is something in the attic? Maybe there's a raccoon up there or a squirrel or I don't know. I'm feeling a little weird. Maybe I feel like someone's watching me. I mean, these are pretty standard things. A woman in Los Angeles, a 93-year-old woman, was concerned that she was hearing things at night when it would get all quiet in her house. And she thought there must be an animal down in the crawl space. It's got to be it. There's just something rummaging around down there.
Yeah.
Well, she, again, 93 years old, heard some strange noises, finally decided, let's get up and take a look at it. Found a gentleman living in her crawl space.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was a raccoon.
Fully set up shop. Not only was he living there, he was unclothed when discovered.
Nude man.
That's unnecessary. Man. You don't have to be naked.
Man living under the house. And he'd been there a while. I mean, he set up shop. And then, of course, when he was confronted, he refused to leave. They were very surprised to see him, of course. Had some family members come over to make this discovery. He didn't want to come out. The police showed up. They spent hours trying to get this guy. Come on, just come on out. You're not in as much trouble as you probably think. We need you to move because they didn't want to go in there and get him. It's scary under there.
Yeah, just hold up a Kit Kat.
They had police dogs. They thought they could, have a threatening, growling dog approach him. That would probably scare him out. That didn't work. They finally forced him out with tear gas.
Oh, yeah.
They had to tear gas the crawl space.
Yeah, that means he defecated under there.
I would imagine he did. I've never survived a tear gas attack without soiling myself.
Yeah.
Naked man was identified, 27-year-old Isaac Betancourt of the Los Angeles Betancourts.
Yes, the first.
They suspect, after discussing things with him and comparing notes, basically they determined he'd been living there for 6 months.
I mean, could you charge someone rent to live in your crawl space?
I guess. I mean, that's not like squatters' rights. That doesn't apply, does it? I mean,
no.
That's this is my mid-70s traumatic experience watching the made-for-TV movie Bad Ronald.
Bad Ronald.
Is he the one that lived in the wall?
Yeah, he did.
You're damn straight he did.
Yeah. Didn't we all kind of fantasize about that with a girl we had a crush on? Kind of, a little? No? Just Tony?
No, we did,
yeah, well,
I didn't fantasize about living in someone's wall, but I definitely thought about, what if I could just get in her closet and hang out there for a little while? And then she would be reaching in to grab a dress, and she'd see me, and she'd realize she loves me too. and I spent some time with the school counselor. We talked through it. It was all good. No big deal.
Yeah,
it's all good.
All right. It's all right.
I mean, my mom's 96, and she just this year left a house she'd been in forever. And she heard, 100% true story, last year, 5 a.m., she wakes up to hear someone rummaging around in her kitchen.
Oh, dang.
And as a 95-year-old, she does the smart thing. She gets up, grabs a broom, and goes in there to kick someone's ass.
I was picturing a rolling pin.
She grabs a broom, 95, walks in, turns on the lights, and it's a groundhog.
Oh, my gosh.
Just a big old woodchuck in there, just roofing around. She's like, go for it. And she said that she screamed. Like, that freaked her out more. She was fully anticipating seeing a man, and that wasn't going to be a problem. The groundhog scared her to death.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
You don't want critters in the house. I lived in a cabin for a winter, and it had raccoons in the chimney. They would crawl into the chimney, and it had one of those really steep roofs on it. You couldn't get up there. I tried, and the guy would not put a cap on the top of the chimney, so he comes over and he puts a piece of insulation board, and he blocks it off. This was in the bedroom. There was a one room, I guess, but it was right in front of the bed. So, they could still get in the chimney. So all night long, I'd hear them scratching and chirping behind this thin piece of frickin' insulation board while I'm trying to sleep, and yeah, it was just uncool. I did not dig it, but got through the winter all right, I guess.
Well, sure. I mean, you just get through that first day, and then you're like, it's not that bad, I guess. And you just get used to it. Yeah, you get used to it.
Kind of miss it after a while.
The one time I had animals in the house, I was convinced it was squirrels or raccoons or something. It turned out to be bees. There's nothing fun about bees.
No.
Wasps in the ceiling. Nothing good about that at all. But this guy living under the house, this reminds me, or another story that just popped in from Canada. In Nova Scotia, there's a woman up there named Amanda LeBlanc, and she's got a very nice home. She and her husband doing pretty well, and they have a dog sitter, a dog watcher. They travel, and they have somebody who comes in and takes care of the pets when they're gone. A trusted member of their community, a trusted member of their family, if you will, because you trust someone to take care of your pets, you're going to trust that person. That's a pretty specific relationship. She booked this dog sitter on several occasions over the summer. They were, in fact, this is just times when they would just go out for the day. They'd be, 12 hours away at most, but not overnight trips. But she just needed someone to come in, let the dogs out, give them a walk, come back in. All great. And a few weeks ago, she came across a video of that dog sitter.
Uh-oh.
The dog sitter was on social media advertising an account on OnlyFans.
Uh-oh.
And Amanda's like, what? Why? My dog sitter's on OnlyFans. Wow, I didn't really see that happening. She goes, let's see, she's confused by that, or she's intrigued, to say the least. She checks out one of the OnlyFans posts from her dog sitter. It's a video. It's a pornographic video.
Oh.
Yeah.
As you may be, not surprised to hear. It's a video of the dog sitter alone masturbating.
Oh, the dog's not involved.
Any guesses on where the video was shot?
Not in their bedroom.
In her
couch?
Right in her bathroom. Also in her outdoor pool.
What?
The dog sitter was shooting herself for her OnlyFans account. The dog sitter is posting videos pleasuring herself and then posting them to her OnlyFans, but she's doing it at the home of the people whose dogs she's taking care of.
Well, as long as the dog's okay.
No dogs anywhere on the page.
Well, as long as it's a female. I thought you were talking about a guy. Just jumped into my head, and I thought that's gross. But a female, I mean, let's
okay with that.
Let's have her. You can dog sit while I'm home if you'd like. Come on over. I'll hold the phone.
Her bathroom has a very distinct patterned tile. It was a dead giveaway immediately. This woman was very just blown away. She said, "Look, everybody do what you want. I don't care you're making money, but don't do it in my home."
Yeah, right.
I give you access to my home to take care of my animals, and you like the floor, so you're like, "Oh, I know what I can do on that floor."
It's a sexy Mexican tile.
What if? Let's play What If Wednesday. What if she was making like $1 million a month? You hear these crazy amounts they make. What they make? Would you then say, you know what? Why don't you keep doing it? But it's going to cost you $20,000 a month to do it at my home.
I would, without hesitation, I'd immediately say, hey, before I go public with this and bust you, how about you cut me in, and then you have a safe, warm, well-conditioned environment for you to make whatever you want to make in there. Sure. I'll bring the Lysol wipes, and you just go to town.
Yeah, whatever products or devices you need.
Yeah, what if it's ABDL, though? Adult baby diaper lover. Because there's one on OnlyFans. It's an adult just wearing a frickin' diaper, and then, it poops in it, the whole thing. It's really weird.
Okay, well, the answer is no thanks. And you could have given me 6 hours to come up with what ABDL meant. I would have never been there.
Right. She wants me to wear a diaper.
That would have never happened. Right. There's not going to be a legal action taken. This woman, Amanda, says, I'm not going to do that. The dog sitter did pull down the videos from her house, from the website, but she said the dog sitter at first was unapologetic, didn't understand what the big deal was. Like,
jeez.
Who cares? And she said, look, I've not only did she do this in my house, I've recommended her to all my neighbors. Other people have hired her. So now I imagine there's a whole bunch of people combing through that. Honey, Honey, I'm doing this to protect the sanctity of our home. I'm not even watching her. I'm looking for the ceiling fan. It's a reason for everything. Reminds me, I believe I told this story before, but it's a similar story. A dear friend of mine in the music industry was given a wedding present. He and his wife got married mid-'90s, moved into their new home in the Hollywood Hills. And Rick Rubin, the legendary record producer and mogul, showed up, basically, long story short, presented my buddy with a VHS tape. He said, hey, man, congratulations on the wedding. This is for you and your lovely wife to enjoy. And he had got it at the Hustler store. It was a porno tape on VHS. Before DVDs, it was still VHS. And my buddy's like, well, that's cool, Rick, thanks, but we're not really into porn. And he goes, no, I really think you guys, this is a special one. You guys are going to enjoy it. And my buddy's like, oh, my God, what is it? It's got to be something to this. Pops it in the VHS. The movie starts, and he and his wife, they've been in their new home for 2 weeks. They're horrified to recognize their kitchen as the site of a 48-person gangbang. It's this, and then he go and he says, we sit there for an hour in horror, and we watch 4 dozen people in every square inch of our home.
Oh, my God.
Getting after it.
My God.
They're in the pool. They're on the pool deck. They're on the kitchen counters. They're on the floors. They're in the garage. They're in the basement. They're in the attic, an unfinished attic on the beams. They're just everywhere. He goes, everything you've ever imagined a human doing to another human has been done in my house, in every room.
Oh, my God. There is DNA in the grout.
Yeah.
I mean, you can never get it clean enough.
And he had, again, he just moved in, and the house had been on the market for about a year. And while it was on the market, apparently somebody, the realtor knew a guy, or somehow it happened. And the funny part of the story is, of course, that Rick knew. He was like, "Oh, you bought that house where?" And it was on Blue Jay Way, which is a Beatles song. That's a street in the Hollywood Hills. He goes, at the top of Blue Jay Way, that big white one. Yeah, you bought that house? Oh, cool. And Rick somehow knew that guy, that somebody had been shooting pornos in that house, and so he went and found one. That was a wedding gift. House was listed within a month. They didn't stay there.
Really?
Yeah, they said they just could not. Every day they'd be like, it doesn't matter. We've had this thing deep cleaned several times, and he said they just could never shake it off. They just weren't comfortable there.
Yeah. But if you spill your wheat thins on the counter, you're going to be a little
sure.
Yeah, don't pick up a Cheez-It that you dropped on the counter and eat it. But luckily it's in California. It's in the hills. There are weirdos out there that'll buy it just for that reason. Advertise it as such.
That's very true.
Oh, I'd buy it, and I'd put up historical markers all over the house.
And invite the crew back and the cast for a once a year reunion.
Yes.
Yeah.
My buddy actually had the line that will go down in history. Was, I'd rather live at the Manson murder house than this. I was like, wow, okay then. No, I think that would be pretty. I'm just picturing when Rosemary and I bought our first house. That's the house that had the bees, the wasp nest in the ceiling. We discovered that our first weekend, and that was pretty. It was traumatic, but a guy came in that night, and then all the bees, it was all taken care of. Yeah, I think that was enough. I don't think I could have. I'm just picturing this tiny little bungalow, sweet little 2-bedroom house we bought, and then what if somebody had said, "Oh, by the way, there's 48 people in here last month just throwing around bodily fluids like there was no tomorrow."
Oh, man. Man, it doesn't compare, but I have friends in Utah that bought a house, and they're like, it was really weird. It had, they split the living room in two, and they had done a renovation of this house at some point back in the 1970s, and it was just weird the way everything was partitioned off and laid. Why would they have 2 kitchens upstairs? And someone said, oh, that was a Mormon house, a polygamist house back in the day. That's how they renovated those houses for multiple families in there. And they had a similar look on their face, I'm sure, that Rick Rubin's friends had. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, They did, but they were in the process of fully renovating and gutting that house to make it livable for one normal family, I guess.
We've been talking about fears and phobias people have. I've had a lifelong fear of having 2 wives at the same time. Just nothing I could imagine more terrifying than multiple partners in life. Are you kidding me? I never watched that show on HBO. Big Love, right?
Big Love.
Yeah, neither did I.
Bill Paxton.
Paxton. I knew people that really enjoyed it. I think I watched one, and I just could not. I couldn't take myself out of it. Just imagining how difficult it is just to maintain one actual above board legit family and people. And I was like, no way, man. This ain't gonna happen. But speaking of fears, on the KQ Talk and text line 651-989 Rock. Here's a fear that someone shared. I have an irrational fear of my daughter making an ass of herself on the radio. That's from, let's see, Jim.
Face that fear, Dad. You will adjust.
You're gonna have to do that for sure,
Jim. It's in the job description, Jim.
Jake texted this in. There's a phenomenon called frogging, not with an F, but with a PH. Frogging, which is secretly living in another person's house without their knowledge or permission.
Now that he says it,
yeah, that does sound familiar. There was a thriller movie about it. Man, that would be that'd be something to find. A human. You're in your own attic and you're like, is that a secret door? What the hell? You open it up and there's a guy. You're like, hi, can I help you? Just turn the TV down, please.
I'm afraid I might react violently.
Yeah, that is absolutely oof. That's just too much, man. That's really the idea of your greatest fear coming. Oh, there actually is a person in the home or under the home, as the case may be. We had a skunk under our house once. Again, that's as much as I could handle.
Oh, but still, I mean, you talk about smelling up for a while. That couldn't have gone away very quickly.
Oh God, no. It was days and days and days. Fun fact: if you move to Los Angeles, this is what they don't tell you: the city's full of skunks. Seriously,
really?
Man.
Wait, are you talking about lawyers?
I'm not. I'm talking about
reps.
I'm talking about Pepe Le Pew and all of his buddies.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That is a skunk town, man.
Yeah, and you can't kill them on your property. Certainly not in your house, because when you kill a skunk, it evacuates. It all comes out. So I guess you got to lure them out and away over to your neighbor's house, and then you kill it.
I'd rather, I would rather, if you put me in a small room, if you said, okay, you got to go into this room, we have a skunk behind door number 1 or a honey badger who hasn't had food in a week, I'd take the badger. I'd take my chances with the badger.
You can't kill those things with like a machete or whatever.
I'd rather be dead than be in a room with a skunk if he sprays. I'm telling you, I was 15 feet away from a skunk spray one time, and it was the most horrifying experience of my life.
Yeah, that little odor you get when you're going down the road and there's a dead one along the side of the road.
That's 5 miles away.
Yeah, that's nothing. It's nothing.
No, it's like a tire fire. It's chemical, and by God, I think to myself every time, how is it that skunks don't run the world?
Maybe they do.
They should. If we had those sacks in our bodies right now, I mean, you could rule the world if you could emit a skunk odor anytime you wanted to.
Yeah, they're just too horny. They're too preoccupied with sex. Pepe Le Pew, he just could have focused.
So that's realist. That wasn't just shtick. They really are like that. They're Randy Frenchmen.
As far as I know.
Fair enough. Hey, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra is out on the road. They're bringing their holiday hits on tour, and you could see them in the city of your choice. Phoenix, Tampa, Nashville, Atlanta, it's your call. One winner is going to score 2 premium tickets to the TSO concert of their choice, plus round-trip air, a 3-night hotel stay. You got to have 3 nights to get over the enormity of that performance, plus a $1,000 gift card. Text the national keyword ROCK to 95819 for a chance to win. The top 5 at 9 coming up. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder. on 92 KQRS.
A turkey's journey to the local grocery store is barbaric and impersonal. That's why at Humane Farms, all the turkeys die of natural causes. Some may be feeble and elderly, riddled with disease, or suffering from heinous injuries, but rather than the barbaric destruction commonly practiced at many processing plants, they pass peacefully in their sleep. After they expire, they're given a brief eulogy, and after a religiously neutral, non-denominational ceremony, they're quickly frozen and shipped to one of our Humane Farms kiosks in a mall near you. Do the right thing this Thanksgiving. Serve up a bird that lived a full life and went when it was its time to go.
I can't chew this.
I feel like I'm eating fabric. These bones just dissolved into powder.
I think I just bit into a lesion.
Ew. Honey, are you all right?
Oh, God.
Honey?
Humane Farms. When it's time to say goodbye, it's time to eat.
This
Brilliant.
is the KQ Morning Show, and this tastes like fabric. What was it? Oh, that's great. Oh, it's good stuff. This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Wednesday, November the 20th. We've been talking about turkeys today. We've been sending out a midweek mixtape. Send us a song idea. What song would you send to a turkey? The first one we had at the very top of the show, somebody put in Legs, the ZZ Top song. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
My new favorite from Brian on the KQRS Facebook page. The first cut is the deepest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You jive-ass turkey.
A lot of free birds. Let's see. The door's the end. That's a long one. You know, you got to sit through whoever sits through the entirety of the end by the doors anymore. You know, I mean, you got to do that a few times as a kid, of course. But I mean, if it comes on now, it's really, really moody, creepy. It sets the tone. But can you get through all 7, 8, 9 minutes of it? I don't think I could.
Maybe if I'm watching Apocalypse Now.
That's it. But even then, I'd probably turn the volume down after a while. That song just does me in. What can I say? It's top of the 9 o'clock hour, which means we want to get to the top 5 at 9. Let's do this. These are the stories that we think it's important to share with you. If you're just joining us, getting your day started, you can say what you want about Mike Tyson and what's his name, Luke Paul. What's his name?
Jake Paul.
I don't know.
That fight was a bit of a bore, but it was a big hit for Netflix. 108 million viewers worldwide, which makes it now the most streamed global sporting event ever. Now, there were a lot of technical issues, however. A bunch of people missed a lot of the fight. They didn't miss anything. They just missed two guys standing there pretending to fight. But now, a gentleman from Florida, obviously, named Ronald Denton. His nickname's Blue. Let's just call him Old Blue.
Hey, my boy Blue.
Old Blue has filed a class action lawsuit against Netflix for the frozen screen he had to endure. He calls it a, quote, legendary failure. You're my boy, Blue! He's suing for breach of contract and other offenses and seeking unspecified damages. If you are also upset with your streaming situation for this fight and join this class action lawsuit, please just walk into the ocean.
Oh,
yeah, shut up, Blue.
What's wrong with people?
I did set another record for the most people feeling disappointed at the same time.
That's very, that's exactly right.
108 million people just...
Yeah, there was, there was the finale of Lost, and now this.
You got to see Mike Tyson's ass. I mean, not that it was on my...
I mean, for 58, it was not bad looking.
Yeah, right. I mean,
It's not bad.
He looks great for 58. But the boxing aside, anyway. Number 4 on your top 5 at 9, the Explorer of the Seas. That is a Royal Caribbean cruise ship that I will never board because I will never board any cruise ship. And I have another reason to add to my lengthy list of reasons why I don't do cruises. This ship was crossing the Atlantic earlier this month when out of nowhere the seas turned rough and everything started to go a little sideways. And for one customer on the ship, it took him a minute to figure out what exactly was happening for a very odd reason. Check this out.
We were in the theatre and they were playing a Celine Dion song from Titanic, and we actually thought it was part of a special effects. The ship started to tip to one side, all the bottles and all the glasses fell off the bar. And we're like, wow, this is amazing. And then we realised, look at the crew's faces, this isn't special effects.
Yeah, really liven that boring cruise up for a moment.
That dude was hammered. If you're on a cruise ship, which is the size of a small state, I mean, if you're on something that big and it's leaning so hard to one side that all the tables themselves are moving and bottles are breaking and people are losing their minds, and if your thought is, oh, this is like a special effect, this is cool, you're hammered.
The sea was angry that day, my friends.
Yes, it was.
They were hustling all the poor people down to steerage. There was a band playing on the deck.
I love that Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On was actually playing in the bar when it happened.
Why the hell would you play that on a cruise ship? It sounds like bad luck.
Yeah, it really does. It's like there's so many things not to do on a cruise ship. That would be number one on the list. I think number two would be to have a Legionnaires convention. You know, don't get them out there. There's all kinds of things that you just want to steer clear of. Number three on your top 5 at 9, the fabled CC Club in South Minneapolis could very well be for sale. Over there at the corner of Lindale and 26th, the owners, Randy Siegel and Steve Shapiro, they're both 75 years old. They're saying, hey, retirement's right around the corner. They have co-owned this club for the past decade, and they're like, you know what? It's a place that's been there since 1933. It's a legendary part of the Minneapolis music myth, if you will. Paul Westerberg and Replacements hung out there a lot. The song Here Comes a Regular, written apparently from moments inspired at the CC Club. It is now apparently going to hit the market. We discussed this earlier in the show. Zepp, I'm curious, have you recanted your original thought, which is, are you willing to recant the idea that somebody needs to just burn it down?
And I say that with all affection, but I've been doing some texting this morning, and I think I've got a group of investors together. We're going to turn it into a bakery spa.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
No.
Oh, that'll last.
I'm going to chain myself to the front of the CC Club so you cannot do this.
All right, someone's not getting a coupon.
Yes,
for a free croissant and a facial.
I'll have the chocolate croissant and a salt sea bath, please.
Yeah. No, I mean, I played Matt Dillon in a game of pool there one time.
Is that right?
Yeah, he and Timothy Hutton, is that it? They were doing a movie together in Minneapolis, and he came up and put money, you know how you put the quarters on the pool table. Yeah. And my friend, my very intoxicated friend Lloyd, said, nice eyebrows. And he chuckled and then joined us for a game of pool. It was cool. But yeah, the CC Club, it is, when you talk about the great dive bars of Minneapolis, St. Paul, that one's very near the top of the pyramid. It's one of the all-time greats. Told many a lie there.
I believe that would be Beautiful Girls, the movie from 1996.
Yeah, with Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
Oh, I should check it out sometime.
Uma Thurman and Mira Sorvino.
Right.
Oh,
not bad.
Yeah, I know.
You shot pool with the wrong cast members, my friend.
I certainly did.
Jeez, if you got to shoot pool with someone in that movie, Dylan's like 4th on my list. Number 2 on your top 5 at 9. Remember the monkeys that blasted out of that lab in South Carolina? 43 monkeys escaped from a research facility. The CEO of that company, now that 39 of the 43 monkeys have been returned, which means there's still 4 monkeys out there living their best lives. The gate was left unsecured by a guard. They escaped thanks to some malfeasance. A guard has been was threatened with termination over something else. Apparently, he immediately walked off the job and didn't close the gate behind him. I imagine he's now definitely been threatened with. I mean, it's not a threat for termination. I imagine he's been terminated from his work there. These monkeys cost They're valued up to $30,000 each. Yes, if they're still alive. Is up. $30,000 each. So whatever 30 times 43 is, that's a lot of thousands of dollars. They're happy to get all of them back. They'd still got 4. If you find a monkey in South Carolina, just get it back to the lab, would you? Or I'm kidding, of course. Set that bad boy free. Put that monkey on someone's on a yacht off the coast of Charleston. It can just be a yacht monkey. Can you imagine that? You get a bunch of friends, you pool your money for a weekend, you rent a sailboat, and you're like, 6 hours in, and you're like, is Is that a monkey on the mast? Yeah. Sailboat monkey sailboat cruises. Come on, this is a moneymaker.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like a Simpsons episode when they did the offshore thing. Wasn't there a monkey or a grill on it?
Are warning residents to stay indoors with doors and windows shut after 40 monkeys escaped from a medical research facility. Even worse, they were researching extra-strength Viagra.
I just think monkey sailboats. There's something there. That's a moneymaker right there.
Little yacht hat.
Sail the Caribbean with monkeys. I don't know. I'm excited about it. Number one on your top 5 at 9 is going to wait a moment because I need to say good morning to our friends in Matamidi.
Oh boy.
Matamidi. What did the Matamidi, the gals?
One of my favorite ABBA songs. Matamidi. Matamidi.
It writes itself, doesn't it? No, the girls soccer team won their 8th state championship there recently.
Good Lord.
Yeah, they're a force.
Just a factory of soccer greatness up there in Matamidi.
Yeah, it is.
Right on. Well, if you're listening in Matamidi, we're happy to have you with us. Thank you for being with us this morning. Number 1 on your top 5 at 9. We got a problem over in Sunfish Lake, folks. Right down there in Dakota County, a rash of burglaries in recent weeks, and that's a very Tony neighborhood, a very upscale neighborhood, and people are just busting in and burglaring like there's no tomorrow. Apparently, a bit of a crime ring. Smart people that know how to avoid security systems. There's a secret to not setting off the security system, and it's Brian Zepp. Correct me if I'm wrong, but or just tell me what that is. What's the secret to eluding security?
Going to those places where it's not turned on.
That's right. Right. Yeah. Apparently, a lot of people have really nice homes with great security systems, and they're not turning them on when they leave.
What the hell?
It's just a keypad. It's just an app. It's not even it's probably just facial recognition at this point. Just look into a little thing next to your door. Turn your alarms on if you got them, people. Come on.
Well, I think, they're getting a little cocky out there in the hinterlands and the cake eater territory, but and they think it's part of a national ring. It could be. It's a national crime ring, they think, and they've got it, dialed in exactly how to hit these homes and to know which ones don't have their security systems on. And, those poor rich people.
Well, Mike Conley, Timberwolves Mike Conley, his house was busted into a few months ago. And in Kansas City, both Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's homes were burgled while they were on a road trip with the team. So, listen, if you're a professional athlete, have a friend stay when you're on the road. Just a thought.
Yeah, anyone you might know that would do that?
I'll do it. Sure, yeah.
House sitter, we could shoot some OnlyFans videos.
Oh, man, now we're talking. Me, Chauncey, my cell phone, your OnlyFans account. This would be great. Wait, hold on. I'm about to get busted by the feds if I can complete that thought. I just meant he'd be there for security. He's not going to be a part of the videos.
Right.
Dirty-minded bastard. All right, here we go. There's your top 5 at 9.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.